Hello, my friends. The Los Angeles Rams continue to be viewed as one of the strongest teams heading into the 2026 season. But new information suggests there are still some smart moves available to make the roster even more robust. Many consider the Rams Super Bowl contenders, and I agree. And to make things even more interesting, two players who could be major additions are being favorably discussed by fans. If these moves were to happen, they could quietly resolve two of the biggest questions regarding the roster. These guys are seasoned veterans who could offer exactly what every title contender needs: reliable depth and stability at critical positions. I know you're curious to find out who they are, and I'll tell you everything right away without beating around the bush. But before we go on, smash that like button if you've been a Los Angeles Rams fan for over 20 years. It makes me so happy to see fans of all ages here, especially fans going back to the 50s. Maximum respect. Now, let's talk about today's topic. Before I reveal the players I mentioned earlier, I want to talk about the offensive line, specifically the depth at the left tackle position behind Alaric Jackson. There is no doubt about Jackson's importance to this offense. Protecting Matthew Stafford's blind side remains a top priority for the Rams, especially given the high expectations for the new season. Jackson proved his worth last year by starting 19 games, including the playoffs. Even after dealing with a serious blood clot issue early in the offseason, he returned and finished the year, demonstrating tremendous resilience. However, durability has been a recurring issue throughout his career. When analyzing recent seasons, it is evident that he has missed games every year for various reasons, and his track record suggests there is always a possibility he could be unavailable at some point during the season. This year, there is another layer of uncertainty. Beyond normal injury concerns, Jackson is also dealing with off-field legal matters that could potentially result in NFL discipline. While the report notes there are no felony charges involved, the possibility of league discipline remains something the Rams have to consider when evaluating their roster depth. That is exactly why offensive tackle has become one of the biggest discussion points. If Jackson were forced to miss time, whether because of injury or a suspension, the Rams would need someone capable of stepping into one of the most demanding positions in football without causing a major drop in performance. Last season, the Rams relied on several different options when depth was needed. DJ Humphries saw action, while Warren McClendon also filled in during certain situations. David Quessenberry provided additional depth but played only limited snaps at left tackle. While those players helped the Rams navigate injuries, the report argues that the team could still benefit from adding another experienced veteran before the regular season begins. That brings us to former Detroit Lions Pro Bowl left tackle Taylor Decker. According to the report, Decker has emerged as a logical fit for Los Angeles because of several factors. The most obvious is his long history with Matthew Stafford. The two spent 5 seasons together in Detroit, giving them familiarity and chemistry that could make any transition much smoother if Decker were asked to play meaningful snaps. The Rams would not be signing him expecting Pro Bowl production every week. Instead, the value would come from having someone with extensive starting experience ready whenever needed. That kind of insurance becomes extremely valuable for teams with Super Bowl aspirations, because one injury can completely change a season if there is no dependable backup available. The report also points out that even if Jackson never misses a game, Decker could still serve as an experienced swing tackle capable of providing depth across the offensive line. Championship teams often succeed because they prepare for problems before they happen rather than reacting after injuries strike. Another factor mentioned is the Rams' rookie tackle, Keegan Trost. While the organization clearly believes in developing young talent, expecting a rookie to immediately protect Stafford's blind side in meaningful games could be asking a lot. Having someone like Decker available would ease that pressure while allowing younger players to continue developing at the proper pace. The overall message is simple. If the Rams truly want to maximize every opportunity during the 2026 season, investing in experienced offensive line depth could be one of the smartest decisions they make before Week 1. The second veteran linked to Los Angeles is someone Rams fans know extremely well: Von Miller. The report suggests that a reunion between Miller and the Rams makes sense as a low-risk move with potentially significant upside. Few players have left a bigger impact on the Rams' championship run than Miller did after arriving during the 2021 season. His leadership, playoff experience, and ability to create pressure helped Los Angeles capture the Super Bowl, and those memories remain fresh for Rams fans. Obviously, this would not be the same version of Von Miller that dominated offenses during his prime. Time catches every player eventually. But what makes the idea intriguing is that Miller has continued to show he can still contribute despite no longer being an every-down defender. According to the report, Miller appeared in all 17 games last season while recording 26 total tackles, 20 solo tackles, and 9 sacks. Even at 37 years old, those numbers demonstrate that he can still affect opposing quarterbacks when used in the right role. Rather than asking Miller to carry the defense, the Rams could rotate him into passing situations where his experience, instincts, and pass-rushing ability remain valuable. That kind of role could allow him to stay fresh while maximizing his impact during the biggest moments of games. Adding Miller would also provide another veteran voice inside one of the league's youngest defensive groups. Young players often benefit from practicing alongside future Hall of Fame talent, learning preparation habits, pass-rushing techniques, and the mental side of the game that statistics never fully capture. The report emphasizes that neither Taylor Decker nor Von Miller should be viewed as players the Rams absolutely must sign. Instead, they represent opportunities to strengthen an already talented roster by adding proven veterans who understand what it takes to compete for championships. That philosophy fits perfectly with what successful organizations often do. Rather than simply assembling star players, championship teams focus on creating depth, capable of surviving the inevitable challenges that every NFL season brings. Injuries happen. Suspensions happen. Players miss games. The teams that consistently compete late into January usually have experienced replacements ready when those situations arise. The Rams already have a roster that many people believe is capable of making another Super Bowl run. Around the league, expectations continue to grow, with many viewing Los Angeles as one of the NFC's strongest contenders entering 2026. Because of those expectations, every remaining roster decision becomes important. Would Taylor Decker ever need to start 17 games? Probably not. But if he can protect Stafford for 2, 3, or 4 games while Jackson is unavailable, that signing could quietly preserve the Rams' season. Would Von Miller return as the dominant Defensive Player of the Year version of himself? No one expects that. But if he can provide situational pass rush, mentor younger defenders, and deliver a few game-changing sacks during critical moments, his value could far exceed the cost of bringing him back. Sometimes the difference between falling short and winning another championship isn't adding another superstar. Sometimes it's having the right veteran available when adversity arrives. That is exactly what makes these two potential additions so interesting. Neither move would dramatically change headlines around the NFL. Neither would instantly become one of the biggest free agent signings of the year. But both could address legitimate concerns that exist beneath an otherwise outstanding roster. As training camp approaches and the regular season gets closer, all eyes will remain on General Manager Les Snead and whether he believes the current roster is complete, or if one more round of veteran additions could push the Rams even closer to another Super Bowl appearance. Now it's your turn, Rams fans. Should the front office bring back Von Miller for another run in Los Angeles? Should the Rams add Taylor Decker to strengthen the offensive line and protect Matthew Stafford if Alaric Jackson misses time? Or do you believe this roster is already complete and ready to compete for a championship without making another move? Share your thoughts, because this debate is only getting started, and your opinion is one every Rams fan will want to hear. And there is another reason these conversations matter right now. The Rams are no longer trying to build a roster capable of competing in a few years. They believe their championship window is open today. When your quarterback is Matthew Stafford and your expectations are centered around winning a Super Bowl, every roster decision becomes magnified. That is why adding experienced players like Taylor Decker or Von Miller is less about making headlines and more about preparing for the unexpected. The NFL season is long, and no team gets through it without facing injuries, lineup changes, or difficult stretches. Having veterans who have already played in big games could give Sean McVay more flexibility when those moments arrive. Whether either move actually happens remains to be seen, but the fact that both names are being discussed shows the Rams continue looking for ways to strengthen an already talented roster rather than simply standing still before the 2026 season begins. Before you go, make sure you've subscribed to the channel and turned on notifications so you never miss any Rams news. I could be back at any moment with another big update. Until then, go, go, go!